Hello and welcome to Tacoma's Elder Care Channel. My name is Bob Michaels. I'm an attorney here in Tacoma, Washington. My practice emphasizes estate planning and elder law care. We're once again so happy to welcome back Mary Lynn Pannon of Sound Options, who is helping us or has brought to us a series called How Do Families Work with Home Care Agencies. And it's just such an informative series that we're putting together that we hope you tune in for all of them. Today we're going to be talking about assessing your parents' needs, and specifically with regard to mobility and activity. But before we get to that, Mary Lynn, would you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about Sound Options?
Sure, thanks for having me today. My name is Mary Lynn Pannon. I'm a registered nurse and own the company Sound Options. And part of what we like to do in our service is to really educate families on different areas that can help them take care of mom and dad or their loved one. So today we're going to talk about how you as an adult child can assess your parents' needs. There's lots of areas that we can talk about and will do hopefully in the future, but today we're going to talk about mobility and activity. Before we talk about the details, we want to think of ourselves when we're looking at mom and dad as kind of a detective. Kind of moving in, not saying a whole lot, but kind of watching and looking for those little red flags. And a big one today is going to be mobility and activity. So first of all, you have to think to yourself, does mom really get out of that chair? Is she doing any kind of activity? Is she engaging in a walk? Is she sitting all day long? Does your parent have visual problems? Because that's going to really hinder them and cause a lot of fear. So people may say to themselves as the older person, if I get up, I fell yesterday, and so I'm really worried. So I think my best bet is to just sit here in this chair. When in fact, if you don't move, you get really stiff and your balance is off and you make things absolutely worse. So as an adult child, what you want to look is, can this person what can they do safely and independently? Okay? So the first thing is, can mom or dad get in and out of bed by themselves? Now that may sound silly because you didn't know your parents any other way but being able to do that. Right. But some older people can't anymore. Or do they try to roll out of bed and fall? Can they get in and out of a chair by themselves? And a good question to ask mom or dad is, let's go for a walk and don't help them. Just watch them and see how they get out of that chair by themselves. Will that really work? Can they walk on level surface? Now, no one can really walk safely on a surface that's up and down, up and down. But on a level surface, are they kind of, is their gait good? Can they walk with good step, one in front of the other? That's really important. Do they have shoes that really fit well? And again, I had a client one time, she had to wear high heels. Wow. And she had to go for a walk. Well, she fell. And it's, as we get older, our balance is not as good. So you gotta look at those shoes. Can the person step over a low curb? Can they get in and out of a bathtub? That is huge, because a lot of women love those bathtubs and they can't really get in and out safely. Yeah. So you want to take a look at that. Have they figured out how to do it? Do you have a safety bar in that bathtub so they can hold on to something? You don't want them holding on to the faucets, because that could break off. Right. Or the towel holders in the bathroom, because they're not sturdy enough, unless you've got good sturdy hand things there. But those are all to be considered. Can your parent walk up and down the stairs? Now, obviously, you want them to hold on to a railing. And sometimes it helps if you've got railings on both sides, so that if they did teeter a bit, they could grab either side. So that's a good tip for folks. Can they reach overhead? Is everything way too high? Right. that they can't reach overhead. And again, we do not want people on ladders. I'm just really against ladders unless someone's down below holding the ladder for you. Can they pick up something or an object from the floor? So you might want to drop something accidentally and say, oh Mom, can you just show me how you pick something up? Because I'm having my own problems and I'm just wondering how you're doing. So this detective work takes a little savvy to get your information.
Right.
Can they carry a cup of coffee, or do they have Parkinson's disease and they're shaking and the coffee's going all over the place?
Right.
So some of these things that you are detecting will lead you to solutions that you want to have for your parent.
Right.
You really want to plan once you learn some of this information. The other thing, and you'll laugh at me because I love walkers. I think they're awesome because you've got even weight on either side. You can move carefully and slowly, and there's a lot of these walkers that have seats that fold down so you can turn around and sit down. So if you are an older adult and you're tired, you flip the seat down, you turn on the brakes, and you sit down.
Oh.
So I'm a bigger fan of walkers than I am of canes because I think canes can off balance the person and they could fall. So clearly mobility and activity are really important. The more you use it, the less you lose it. And so I'm a big proponent of exercise, really at any age. Yoga is awesome for older adults, simple stretching. And so you really do want to have some sort of plan of activity. But if the person has arthritis, a lot of pain, fatigue, there may be other things that you can do to keep people safe and a little bit active.
Right.
So that's really a quick overview on mobility and activity.
Wonderful.
Any questions for me?
Wonderful tips. Yeah, let's take the kitchen, for example. What are your 3 tips as far as if we were to walk into a senior's kitchen, we who are maybe younger and a little more mobile have things set up in our certain
Sure.
patterns, but as we age,
Sure.
maybe we can't, like you mentioned before, can't reach. Or what are some, let's say, 3 tips for the kitchen? How would you?
Well, for the kitchen, hopefully they can reach the faucet on the sink. Can they safely use that stove and oven? I've seen where people have taken the microwave oven that's been up real high and put it down level.
Right.
I think food and dishes and silverware should be at the level where the person can reach.
Right.
I think that you may even decide to take a look at, I have a client now that we've taken all the important things from for the freezer and put them in the front of the freezer. So she just has to go in, reach
Right.
there,
Right.
and same with the food down below the freezer.
Right.
You just want quick access. You have to just think safe. And clearly, if you've got a lot of chips in the dishes, the glasses, I'd throw them away. I would get new ones. So those are some tips.
Wow, great stuff. Once again, why don't you tell us how we can get a hold of you?
Okay, I'd be happy to, and thanks for your attention. You can reach Sound Options at 1-800-628-7649 or the local number of 253-756-5007, and the website is www.soundoptions.com, which, by the way, is a really great educational resource for people. You don't have to be our customer. There's just lots of information there.
There sure is. And again, thank you very much, Mary Lynn. And for all of you tuning in, we are running a series, so check back in and see the next installment, and Mary Lynn comes back and visits. So again, thank you for coming in
Thank
and
you,
sharing
Bob.
these wonderful tips.
And thank you for the work that you do.
Well,
It's really needed.
thank you. And tune in next time. Thank you very much.